Generals, gentlemen.
Heading into game number 4, we do have spawning as the green allies on the left side from teammates. We have WalftheWolf.
And at the top right, we have C9 as the blue allies, who unfortunately did get defeated in that last game. A very valiant effort, I must add. And so that boot camp is kind of facing the wrong way. Must have been a mistake, because that will definitely slow down the production of those peacekeepers. Probably like a full second and a half. He has to kind of route around that barracks.
Yep, we'll have to see. I mean, that is really unfortunate there. Just a little bit too fast of placement for C9.
Oh, actually, hang on. No, is it intentional? Because then he has like two at a time. Like they're in the sort of the formation.
Actually, it could be. I mean, he typed a face into chat, so I think it's unintentional.
No, probably not.
But I mean,
yeah,
that would be pretty bizarre. You could just time them up. You could just like pause one for a second and then have them line up that way.
Yeah, so we'll have to see if it actually matters here. I don't think it really will, to be honest, as we now have that really long Garrison war battle of the non-stop, you know, basically right shielding to Garrison over and over again. Basically, it's until whoever stops. Whoever is kind of sick of it and goes, you know what, fine. You can have that Garrison. It actually looks as though C9 will concede that Garrison for now. So it will be Garrison wars here. But I think the one on the left has a little bit weaker, I think. It looks like it has less health.
Yeah, it definitely has taken
maybe
a bit more damage. WalftheWolf continuing to pump out those peacekeepers. C9 going to be going for a standard dual ref follow-up after those two racks. WalftheWolf immediately with the either MCV reposition or the relatively quick third refinery. This did not work out for him too well on the previous time he played on this map, so we'll have to see if it turns out a little bit better. They're going to be reinforcing this building desperately, and WalftheWolf is going to be knocking a couple of those peacekeepers back, but it looks like he will have enough to hold the line. C9 is trying to close the distance and just clear out this building, but as you said, both of these players are likely going to be getting bored of this little engagement in the middle pretty soon here.
Yeah, the other issue though to keep in mind, C9 doesn't have his oil. And WalftheWolf has had his oil for quite some time, so in that sense, WalftheWolf is actually ahead. And it looks as though actually both of those garrisons got cleared out. So C9 does have the middle secured though, just not with those garrisons, I'm afraid. But it looks as though he's actually powering into the base here of WalftheWolf. May try and get those garrisons, but I think he actually sees that forward MCV of WalftheWolf and may try and take that out, if not kind of leave one blocking off that refinery to prevent that from being placed down.
Alright, so it looks like, yeah, he is going to be going for that. I'm assuming it's a multi-gunner turret, which is being queued. It couldn't really be anything else. But yeah, so WalftheWolf looking to defend this. He's still got his two barracks. C9 has grabbed his oil derrick at this point, but I'm not sure which one of these players actually was able to engage more efficiently in sort of that middle engagement, because it seems like C9 was, but I'm not entirely sure. So the economic advantage that WalftheWolf had may not have actually mattered all that much. The multi-gunner turret is being delayed until these peacekeepers roll up here. He throws it down at the last second, packs up his MCV, and is likely going to be trying to get some crushes, but C9 is too good for that. He's going to be pulling back before anything dies.
Yeah, but there's a lot of Javelin troopers coming in. We have 5, maybe more on their way. So C9, once again, has a fair bit of Javelin troopers here, which can be very effective against buildings with that laser lock, and even just against, you know, Riptides and Vindicators, if there's enough.
Yeah, he can definitely do a lot of damage. WalftheWolf going to be forced out of that building. May actually be forced to engage here. No C9. Oh, yep, maybe. It's hard to tell. C9, who did have a pretty good angle on those units. One peacekeeper going to be sacrificing themselves for the others, but the multi-gunner turret goes down right on the front line. WalftheWolf, that insane build radius. I always forget, like, how huge, because of the way the buildings work for the allies. Yeah, like, how huge they granted that build radius.
I was looking for the Prospector. I was like, where is it? Where's the Prospector? And I was like, oh, it's the MCV on the third base. It's pretty crazy indeed. But I think there are more peacekeepers on the field here for WalftheWolf, and it looks as though C9's actually backing up. He does have a lot of Javelin troopers. Don't want to get those sniped because they're pretty fragile and expensive. So yeah, backing off for now. The Conyard is kind of moving forward. C9 also has his third refinery, so they both have their thirds. And we are seeing double barrack spam from WalftheWolf, but only single barracks from C9. Double one now, actually.
Yeah, I love that. Right as you say something, the player does whatever you're talking about and, like, makes you wrong, and you're like, ah, really? But looks like WalftheWolf is going to be clearing out some of the Peacekeepers on the kind of middle of the map here in C9's main. C9 going to be re-engaging, although WalftheWolf is paying attention, throws a Peacekeeper into that multi-gunner turret. So WalftheWolf and C9, they're just so close to each other. They're like shooting each other with their I-beams. They're pointing at each other and they're like, hey, I can see you over there. Well, I can see you too. Well, you better not come on my side because I'm on home base. Well, you better not come on my side. It's like back to the 4th grade all over again. Although
kids in the sand.
Yeah,
pit.
exactly. Although I don't know what the 4th grade is like for Australians. I'm guessing you guys are like fighting rattlesnakes and like shooting kangaroos.
Yeah, basically we ride kangaroos to school. It's pretty hectic indeed. And so low power mode is now activated here. So actually Macy, nope. I think I was just when it packs. I was going to say, with that multi-gunner turret powered down, that could have been a moment for WalftheWolf to kind of engage. That might have backfired as the tower went up quickly.
Yeah, I like this move by C9 on the south side here. This is a really great use of that high ground. Just going to be taking down his opponent's... Okay, that oil derrick, that is a silly animation. Like, the oil derrick on the low ground still causes the Peacekeepers on the high ground to go into that mode. The Cryocopter, harassed with the Vindicator, is going to be heading out. And it looks like C9 is going to try to expand to the water, but this will likely get locked down by WalftheWolf. And are there any Apollos? This is actually entirely desperate from C9. I don't think he has a single airfield out on the map. On the right side of the map, he's got his MCV, but no Apollos to deal with this harass.
Yeah, that's not exactly ideal. There isn't even an armor facility, so there's no IFVs on the way, and these javelins are just simply too slow. He may even... Oh, there's actually javelin troops on that 3rd refinery, so that should be fine. But losing 2 of those prospectors, then the 3rd one was forced to set up into a command hub, so a fair bit of harassment damage there. I'm quite surprised that there was no airfield or IFVs, because in these allied mirrors, it's pretty predictable that you're going to see Cryocopter Vindicator play.
Yeah, I mean, he decided to keep along. Oh, this is a really nice move in the middle, using that Peacekeeper with the shield to go ahead and force, basically, he gets the aggro from the multi-gunner turret on C9's side to go ahead and draw that fire and then use his own multi-gunner turret to kill the turret of C9.
That's pretty cool.
Man, mirror matchups, trying to describe a situation like that is so awkward.
Yeah, I just love when we see sort of plays like that that are so specific and so, like, so clever and creative, and it's those little tiny plays that make the difference in a game like StarCraft, because people, that's their job, it's their living. And then when you see people do something a little quirky like that in CNC, and it's really reassuring, because it makes us think that, yeah, you know what, CNC is cool. We also have our own skill differentiators as well. It's not just the big games like StarCraft.
Yeah, and that Vindicator going in, sniping down another Harvester. This harassment is absolutely spectacular out of WalftheWolf, purely because C9 has nothing to deal with it. But C9, he's like, hey, you know what? You're going to snipe down my Harvesters? Well, okay, I'm going to take a 4th base. Then I'm going to move my MCV and potentially take a 5th base at your possible 3rd water location. So this will be absolutely hilarious, because WalftheWolf does not have the best map awareness and map presence. I mean, one thing that I really like Apollos for is when players just, like, waypoint them all over the map, and they're like, hey, guess what? I'm going to go ahead and scout the entire map with this. Which, I mean, sometimes you do see, and WalftheWolf may actually be doing that now. He's sending an Apollo distinctly south. This may actually be, like, oh my gosh, he's going to completely scout this MCB. The refinery's almost done, or whatever he's building. It could, I guess, be like a naval yard, although it's building pretty slowly. He canceled whatever it was. And WalftheWolf just got a complete scout off with this Apollo. That is absolutely a great move by WalftheWolf. He's catching eyes on absolutely everything. Takes a little bit of damage there. But dang.
Yeah, it's like the opposite of what you said earlier, where you say something and then they like don't do it, or then it's like you say it and then they do it. They like listen to your suggestion. But losing that prospector to the Cryocopter, so that's kind of the issue when you don't get any defensive. There's no multi-gun turrets. I think there are Apollos coming out now for C9 on that very southern airfield, which is quite nice to see. But there already is that Apollo from WalftheWolf, but is actually quite injured, so that will make a bit of a difference there. But Apollo is actually chasing down that Cryocopter and may even take it out, but there is those multi-gun turrets nearby he could use to protect that, but no, we'll get taken out.
Oh, that's rough, losing that Cryocopter, but if you think about it, that Cryocopter has more than paid for itself, not to mention WalftheWolf now has that tier 3. The Athena cannons were a huge difference last game, and they're likely going to be a huge difference this game. C9 jockeying for position with his infantry in the middle of the map, and finally, at whatever minute mark we're at, he gets his airfield down in the south there. However, he's got his 4th refinery still up and going, so he went ahead and rebuilt that, and that's going to make it a little bit more difficult for WalftheWolf to do anything about this, although he is camping that airfield with 3 Apollos.
Yeah, it's a fair bit. It's going to be a pretty useless airfield for now. But these Apollos, the Athena cannon rather, is trying to snipe down some of these infantry. But actually, it looks like C9 is moving in for the engage here. Peacekeepers are on the march with the javelins, and that will be the engage. The Athena cannon's in the back line, but that actually, the cryo shot will force the disengage there. So a little bit anticlimactic for now. And because there's no multi-gunner turrets here for C9, I would very much like to see a Tanya here from WalftheWolf.
Oh, those Apollos!
Oh, but actually driving into all of the javelins. Whoops.
Oh my gosh. 3 grand down the drain.
Not exactly ideal. Must have been a bad rally point there for WalftheWolf losing all of them to those javelins. And now that should give free reign from the air units here of C9, as we actually are now seeing him get that very, very south water expansion. So 5 expansions against 3. This is looking very nice here for C9.
Yeah, C9 as he throws down the very happy face in the chat. He has somehow made this crazy infantry focus work against WalftheWolf, who has gone for the airfield. He went for the tier 3 and the war factory, and yet C9 is holding the ground, holding the line with just infantry. Although with them all bunched up like this, these Athena cannons could do insane splash damage, although it's not quite making a difference just yet. The battle of the multi-gunner turrets in the south here, as I think the prospectors will be forced to run away. Yes, indeed he will. So the south and the middle really the focus of this game now that we've got these turrets down here doing silly, silly things.
Yeah, but once that prospector goes down, that's going to prevent any more forward multi-gunner turrets from being deployed, but that refinery is actually pretty low. May get taken out by Vindicator. Actually, Cryocopter harassment may claim a couple of victims here, but no, just kidding, it won't, because that Apollo is going to save the day and not only kill the Vindicator, but now the Cryocopter as well. So that definitely was a very effective Apollo.
Yeah, definitely, and the Cryocopter goes down, so does the Vindicator, and in the south, that refinery either got sold off or destroyed by the multi-gunner turret. So C9, he's got his wonky expansions, he's got his wonky airfield timing, and he's got his crazy infantry army, but WalftheWolf holding the line pretty well. However, it's going to come down to these next few engagements. The cryo shot blasts off for C9. He's going to be rushing forward with the engage. He's just got so many infantry. He's locked down a ton with that cryo shot. It's absolutely insane.
Oh, low power mode.
Powering on through. Veterancy being handed out like it's hotcakes. And here is going to be going the huge concave from C9. That is absolutely insane.
I have never seen that much infantry. Doesn't even matter that he gets a cryo shot because there's just so many there. He'll be able to muscle his way through all of the defenses, but actually maybe not, because that multi-gunner turret just instantly killed all of those frozen peacekeepers, and somehow WalftheWolf held on. Oh man,
what
that cryo
is this
shot
game?
That was a...
What is this game?
I think C9 got a little bit greedy there, and so did I as well. Watching that, I was like, nah, he doesn't need to dodge the cryo shot. But then just kidding, because those shotgun multi-gunner turrets annihilated them. So actually, that may have turned this game around. There's still only 4 refineries against WalftheWolf's 3, but he does have that Tech 3.
Yep, and now in the south, so C9 actually did an interesting thing. He set up his prospector in the middle, the command hub now, in the middle of WalftheWolf's base. WalftheWolf has spotted it. He's going to go ahead and move out with some Vindicators to go ahead and take that down. But still in the south, C9 just rebuilt that refinery. He's going to go ahead and get that 5th refinery up and running, while in the north, WalftheWolf is looking to take his own refinery with that command hub. But yeah, that last battle essentially just reset the game. It's just like, well, not reset the game, reset the armies, the ground armies of both of these players.
Yeah, basically they both traded their entire army, but that worked out incredibly well for WalftheWolf because his army was significantly smaller. So that was definitely a very clutch move there. And so I think that northern expansion is going to be very, very nice because pretty much all that C9 has is an infantry army, which he can't use to harass that.
Oh, man! So, while you were doing all of that fancy analysis stuff, there's this Vindicator which rolls out from WalftheWolf's base. It's flying around, it takes down 2 Javelin Troopers, gets elite, and then right as C9's Apollo rolls up, the Vindicator heads on back home, and the Apollo gets within like an inch of killing that elite Vindicator in the south. We do have the harassment, the Riptide, great use of those units by WalftheWolf.
Oh, Assault Destroyers, nice. That's going to deter those Riptide APCs, no problems at all.
A great counter here by C9. That's exactly what he needs to go ahead and secure that expansion and start putting some pressure on the main base of WalftheWolf. As you can see, WalftheWolf is getting a little bit desperate here. He's like, oh crap, I'm actually in trouble down here in the south here. He's going to be moving in with that Athena cannon, negating one of these expansions, but C9's got the big charge with the infantry. This one Athena cannon is way out of position. Its friends are nowhere nearby. The Battle of the Apollos, it looks like C9 may be winning it, although it's so close.
Yep, C9. Yeah, he was firing first. And so I have very, very good news indeed, Sybert. It turns out we actually have level 3, Tech 3 max clearance unlocked now for C9, and that means we might see an aircraft carrier onto this southern expansion from that seaport, and that would be very exciting indeed, because with that, he could actually lay waste to the base, and that's exactly what we are seeing. We are seeing an aircraft carrier here, so can he defend that? He doesn't really have a lot of Apollos or anti-air, and a single cryocopter can kind of nullify that with a shrink ray, so I think it's going to be very important here for WalftheWolf to actually scat that.
So actually, I have a quick question before this next engagement happens, hopefully. If the planes are in the air when the aircraft carrier gets shrunk, do the planes stay the same size, or do they shrink as well?
Oh, damn.
Like, because then,
I have no idea.
Then would the planes actually, the little drones...
How will it land?
Would they be, would they actually be bigger than the airfield, than the aircraft carrier? I don't know. But the aircraft carrier, also the EMP ability of it, which is going to fire off right now.
It's going!
Oh, this could be the money shot. Six City is about to be built. Is it going to land? The rage is so insane.
Oh,
yes, it does!
He gets it!
C9 going to be moving in. Cryo getting fires off. The X button doesn't even matter as everything gets locked down. The Peacekeepers get frozen as well. C9 is actually freezing everything of his own. But he is going to be moving in. Never mind. I just yelled about the wrong thing.
Now that was a nice snipe. All of those Athena cannons and even the IFVs got taken down. The EMP missile combined with that cryo was a fantastic combination, as we are seeing the Riptides move in. But Assault Destroyer is there, and that will definitely ward them off easy. No problems at all. So, look, WalftheWolf in a bit of trouble here. Not only is the infantry army bigger for C9, but that aircraft carrier is going to level the base if he can't prevent that from happening. The cryocopter is moving in. It is freezing it. No shrinking, though. Not exactly sure why.
The Assault Destroyer actually did go down, which WalftheWolf shrunk down. Oh, never mind, as the Vindicator snipes down that Riptide. So yeah, WalftheWolf shrunk down the Assault Destroyer. The Riptide actually was able to finish it off, and now the aircraft carrier is almost going to be frozen, and WalftheWolf is going to be sacrificing this cryocopter because the Vindicator is coming in. Oh! The cryocopter gets the freeze, and here comes the Vindicator. Is it going to be in time? Yes, it will! He snipes down that aircraft carrier. Oh my gosh, this game is so crazy.
That fully heroic Vindicator is even more for it. He really wants to kill. He's chasing it. He really wants to kill that heroic Vindicator, and I can't blame him. He may even lose that, but it will land barely. Oh, that Vindicator. Oh,
what is
that?
This
is cost
game?
Efficiency.
That
nuts. It actually looks as though
Oh my gosh.
The WalftheWolf is moving in. The Peacekeeper's on the retreat for C9. This would be a good moment to get a Tanya, because this could really wreck these fights. The only real issue here would be the cryocopter to kind of shrink that Tanya down pretty damn fast.
And on the left side, in WalftheWolf's main, we do have an Assault Destroyer.
There's an Assault Destroyer sniping down those, and that whoa, the infantry army is actually moving in from WalftheWolf, and they're basically, the army C9 has kind of like backed off. He's like, yeah bro, that's fine, you can kill my base. Not exactly sure why he's doing that, kind of letting him kill some of his bases, but then this Assault Destroyer is just so powerful. Vet 1, and that refinery is pretty damn low. Almost got taken out by the aircraft carrier. There is another one though, replenished, and that will be able to provide another EMP if he needs to.
Yeah, the EMP resetting all of those Athenas, and oh, it looks like a cryocopter will be going down This game absolutely epic between these two allied players. WalftheWolf taking a lot of damage back home. That aircraft, that assault destroyer, is now in elite status, although it is shrunk. It is hardly alive. He's got it in that black hole armor mode. The Vindicator might just have to run out and snipe down that assault destroyer.
Yeah, it almost killed it before in a previous volley, but also WalftheWolf did manage to take down one of those refineries on the right land expansion. Now, one thing I want to draw attention to is these ore refineries in the main bases. They're going to run out pretty soon. They're already pretty low, only about 5,000 or so. What are they called? Minerals? Ore?
Yeah, 5,000 ore.
Ore. I've never heard before that. So this fully heroic Vindicator is not dying. Actually,
oh, it
just
does
kidding.
go down.
It may get taken out. There it goes.
And the Apollo is now completely heroic. Yeah, as you just said there.
Oh my god.
He got the kill on that elite, assault destroyer. But I mean, it cost him his heroic Vindicator. Was it worth it? Maybe yes, maybe no. But now we have an Apollo. We have 2 hydrofoils. C9 suddenly playing the long game, playing the long tech on the water, which is turning out to be a pretty good idea because he got the tier 3 way later, but this aircraft carrier with that EMP and in combination with the hydrofoils, it's just so powerful. It is just so powerful.
Yep. But still, keep in mind, there is that land expansion on the top left corner for WalftheWolf, so not exactly out of this game, but I think he's going to have a harder time kind of coping with that the aircraft carrier, because it's just a matter of time until the aircraft carrier moves around the back and takes
Here's the
out.
next big engagement as we have C9 rushing in, the cryoget firing off for both players. C9 is going to split, I think, a little bit better. WalftheWolf getting absolutely shredded here, and here comes the big infantry flank attack as WalftheWolf desperately trying to mount a defense, but it's just too little, too late. Everything is getting shredded. WalftheWolf is being pressured. GG goes down.
Oh, GG! Now that is a GG and a half, ladies and gentlemen. I think that last engagement, there was just too much cryo-shotted. There was the multi-gunner, the Riptides, too much. But in the end, C9's army was just bigger regardless. So that game...
Whoa,
where do we start, Sybert? Where do we start?
The economic lead for WalftheWolf, and then just suddenly with that wonky expansion order, C9 turned things around, and it was like, what? There's no way this is going to work. WalftheWolf is going to take this down. Oh, just kidding. Somehow, C9 held the line. That game, sickest game of the tournament so far. This is an awesome finals, even if that was the only match in it.
Yeah, that was pretty nuts indeed. I just liked how his strategy of, I'm losing all of my harvesters to cryocopters. Should I build some defenses? Should I get some Apollos? Should I get some multi-gunner cars? No! I'm going to get a 4th and a 5th refinery. And it's like, dude, you're a freaking baller. So I think a shout out there to C9 for having a very ungeneric, very creative thought process, and really, as a result, took that game.
For sure, that game, absolutely awesome. Game number 5 is going to be coming up. This best of 7 is not over. I think both of those players had a ton of fun with that game. It was just so silly, so wonky. Anyone who says BattleBaseBeta cannot bring good games, anyone who says AVA is not fun,
I'm sorry.
can take a look at this.
Oh, no.
See,
I apologize, WalftheWolf. I lied. I was wrong. I said AVA is uninteresting. I was so wrong.
See, that's going to be like the game of the tournament where everyone's talking about it, and then there's going to be like replay analysis, and everyone's going to be like, this is actually a really terrible game. But in the moment, it was so cool.
Well, it was cool, that EMP is just like, I didn't even know it had that much range, and it wasn't just an EMP. It was like EMP and cryogeddon. It just killed so many Athena cannons, and that was just not ideal. It really brought the pain into WalftheWolf.